In this video I'm going to show you what happens when you don't clean your gutters. Here you can see all the water is flowing over the top of the gutter. And if you look closely here, almost nothing's coming out of the downspout. If your gutters aren't maintained, this could cause a lot of damage in the future. Not only will this cause damage to your basement, your crawl space, or your foundation, this will also cause damage to your roof, your gutters, soffits, and fascia. These are the gutters from the house I had in Hammond. Not sure how much time went in between cleanings on this one. But you can see here the trees and weeds were already starting to grow inside them. The Hammond house did have damage to the roof from all the water overflowing. And you can see by this area here, the moss was already growing on the edge of the shingles and the plywood. The damage was already done here, but they still needed to be cleaned to prevent any more damage. When I bought my home in Maryville, one of the first things I had to do was fix the gutters in the back of the house. I don't think the gutters have been cleaned in years, and the downspouts were clogged up, and they're not designed to hold that kind of weight. The gutters were fastened to the fascia, and the fascia is nailed to the roof trusses. The gutters were screwed to the fascia with real nice deep thread screws. The weight of the water in the gutter finally pulled the fascia off of the roof trusses with the nails. I was able to take it apart and fix it properly. You'll see that later in the video the same thing happened in the front of the house. I clean my gutters every year with the exception of last year and the beginning of this year. Everything you see in the gutters right now is from 1 year of not cleaning the gutters. Last year I got COVID that put me out for a couple of months and side effects that lasted all year. The beginning of this year I fell and tore my shoulder and had to have surgery, so I've only had the use of one arm. We finally got rid of the tree that was doing all the damage to the gutters in the back, so we shouldn't have too much trouble there anymore. Now the lower gutters in the front of the house are a little bit different problem. The gutter is just pulling away from the fascia. The fascia is still attached to the roof trusses. This one was a pretty easy fix. All I had to do was remove the brackets, move them over, and screw them into the studs. And you can see here where I moved them over to catch the stud. The other problem that you have when your gutters become filled up with water and junk are the bugs. I don't know if you can see in this video, but the bugs that are flying around. Now my second story gutters are having the same problem in the front as they did in the back. The gutters and fascia are pulling away from the studs. Now the black space under the shingles is my attic. You can actually see into the attic of the house. And I already had birds making a nest in the corners of the soffits. Here you can see everything's pulled away and getting ready to fall. The bad news is all the fascia is rotting and all this is going to have to be taken down and replaced. Unfortunately, because of my shoulder injury, I'm going to have to wait till next year to do that. So what I did for a temporary fix, I took a 2x4 and propped the fascia up to the height it's supposed to be. Then I took these 5 and 6 inch screws and screwed them into the roof trusses. The reason why the screws are so long is so I can reach the truss and pull everything back in as far as I can. After I marked out where the trusses were, I pre-drilled the holes. I pre-drilled the holes so that the screw will spin freely in the fascia and suck everything into the roof truss. As I'm screwing in the fascia, I have to lift up on the shingles to get the flashing to go between the shingle and the plywood. You can see it's starting to draw the fascia into the stud. Now I'll start working my way down and lift the drip cap up as I'm going along. Here you can see I got everything back in close to where it's supposed to be. This should hold up until next year, unless my arm is strong enough and I can do it in the fall. You can see in some areas the shingles don't quite look right. That's because the drip cap is bubbled up a little bit and not quite seated on top of the plywood. Don't forget to hit that like button. Until next time, thanks for watching.